Hi, my name is Logan Rassett. A natural disaster is a disaster that happens naturally. A hurricane is a storm with a violent wind, an accumulating tropic cyclone in a Siberian hurricanes form when warm, moist air over water begins to rise. The rising air is replaced by cold air. The process continues to grow large clouds and thunderstorms. These thunderstorms continue to grow and begin to rotate thanks to the Earth's controllance effect. For one to form a hurricane, these need to be warm ocean water to moist, humid air in the region. When humid air is followed upward at a zone to lower pressure over warm ocean water, the water is released from the air as creating the cloud of the storm. We had some breaking news to report. There's a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico.
I'm here from the Gulf of Mexico reporting on the hurricane that just started to form in some hurricanes. Wind alone can cause extensive damage such as downed trees and power lines collapsing, weak areas of homes, businesses, or other buildings. Additionally, hurricanes can create storm surges along the coast and cause extensive damage from heavy rainfall. Here are some safety precautions for a hurricane. Stay out of flood water. Never use a wet electrical device. If the power is out, use flashlights instead of candles. Prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Be careful near damaged buildings. Stay away from power lines. Protect yourself from animals and pets. Hurricanes are one of the nature's most powerful storms. They produce strong winds, storm surge, flooding, and heavy rainfall that can lead to tornadoes and rip currents. Saltwater intrusions from the storm surge cover the land and freshwater lakes, changing this salinity, subjecting plants and animals to brackish conditions. Wrap up. This is Cole reporting to KLKR, sending it back to you, Logan, in the studio.
Thank you, Cole, for that great report. This is Logan for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Emmy Burrell. A natural disaster is a major adverse event resulting from a natural process of the earth. Examples include firestorms, dust storms, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcano eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and storms and other geologic process. Tsunamis are generated by shallow earthquakes all around the Pacific. But those from earthquakes in the tropical Pacific tend to be modest in size, while such tsunamis in these areas may be devastating locally. Their energy decays rapidly with distance. Usually they are not destructive a few hundred kilometers away from their source. Tsunamis can occur at any time, day or night, and they can travel up rivers and streams from the ocean. They can also easily wrap around islands and be just as dangerous on the coast, coasts not facing the source of the tsunami. According to the Global Historical Tsunami Database, tsunamis that cause damage or deaths near their source occur approximately twice per year. Natural disasters are caused due to different reasons like soil, some seismic activity, tectonic movement, air pressure, and ocean currents, etc. Natural activities take place when in the Earth's crust as well as surface. Are the main reasons for these disasters. We have some breaking news to report. There is a tsunami in Kurgan, Russia.
Hi, my name is Hunter.
And mine is Sophia.
And we are in Russia. It is happening right now and it is damp and cold. So far it has killed 4,000 people.
It has uprooted many plants and ripped trees apart. Many animals were injured or died from the tsunami. Tsunamis are very dangerous, so people take certain precautions to stay safe.
City officials will tell everyone to evacuate and sirens will go off. You will see the water rise on the shoreline. Here are some facts about tsunamis. An underwater earthquake, a volcano eruption, or a landslide mostly causes a tsunami. Only on very few occasions a tsunami is caused by a giant meteor in the ocean.
This is Sophia
And Hunter.
sending it back to you, Emmy, in the studio.
Thank you, Hunter and Sophia, for that great report. This is Emmy signing off for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is John Hebert. A natural disaster is a major and negative event that is caused by natural processing by the earth. A definition of a tsunami is a long, high sea wave caused by an earthquake, submarine landslide, or other disturbance. The tsunami forms when an earthquake happens. The plates collide and cause magnitude that makes pressure and forms a huge wave. We have some breaking news. There was a tsunami in Tokyo, Japan.
I am here in Tokyo, Japan, reporting on a tsunami that just happened 1 hour and 16 minutes ago. Pieces of glass, wood, and brick are everywhere on the ground, and buildings and houses are now gone and on the ground. 20,000 people died because of falling buildings, and some people falling from high places and by drowning. It is very cold with lots of wind, and there are wood pieces and metal pieces still flying everywhere because of the strong winds. Animal habitats got destroyed, and most of the animals got killed by them due to the 25-foot tall wave. The plants on the ground were destroyed by large amounts of water from the wave. Some trees were uprooted and fell over, and one tree even landed on some people. This is Zachary Schwartz reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, John, in the studio.
Thank you, Zachary, for that great report. This is John Heber for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Amelia Johnson. A natural disaster is something that happens with nature that you can't control. A tsunami is a long sea wave caused by an earthquake, submarine landslide, or other disturbance. A tsunami happens when earthquakes are the result of sudden movement along faults within the earth. Tsunamis form a series of extremely long waves caused by a large and sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. We have some breaking news to report. There has been a tsunami in Hilo, Hawaii.
Hi, I'm Tali here in Hilo, Hawaii, reporting on the tsunami that just happened 10 minutes ago. More than 500 buildings have been destroyed and people have lost their homes. The damage cost $75 million. Some people have been seriously injured and 61 people were killed. Everybody who survived is making their way quickly to higher ground to get away from any flooding. Right now it is very chilly and wet. Plants have been squished and animals are hurt or killed. Ocean animals have been washed up on land and are not able to breathe. Fun fact, a tsunami is also called a killer wave. This is Talia Cascatello reporting for KLKR News, sending you back to Amelia in the studio.
Thank you, Talia, for that great report. This is Amelia Johnson for KLKR News.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hoyer. A natural disaster is a storm or a disaster, but it is a lot worse. An earthquake happens when tectonic plates shift and then they rub together, and then the earth rumbles. Sometimes they can start underwater, and there can be an earthquake and a tsunami. There is breaking news to report. There is an earthquake in San Francisco, California. I believe there was a little tsunami, but it is not bad.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I am here in San Francisco, California, reporting on the earthquake that happened 1 hour ago. There were multiple damages here. There was a big tree that fell, and it fell from the earthquake, and it hit multiple houses. The biggest damage was half of the Golden Gate Bridge fell down, and they are trying to keep the other half up. There are 50 people that died today as the buildings fell on a group of individuals walking downtown. We still have several people missing as well, so they may be more deaths to report later. The weather right now is very muggy and rainy. Some trees fell, but the worst one was a tree fell on 3 cars. The small tsunami also took boats way out to sea, and there were 2 people that drowned, which is amazing. As well, the wave was about 20 feet tall. We will have more updates as soon as we get more information. This is Brooklyn from KLKR News, sending it back to you, Elizabeth, in the studio.
Thank you, Brooklyn, for that great report. This is Elizabeth for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Hallie. A natural disaster includes all types of severe weather which have potential to pose a significant threat to human health and safety. A blizzard is a severe snowstorm characterized by strong sustained winds and low visibility lasting for approximately a period of the typical 3 to 4 hours. A blizzard occurs when a mass of cold air collides with warmer air. The cold air is forced under the lighter warm air, which turns colder and releases its moist. We have some breaking news. There is a blizzard in Duluth, Minnesota.
Hi, this is Maddie reporting for KLKR News. I am reporting on a blizzard that just took place 30 minutes ago in Duluth, Minnesota. There is not much damage that was done to the city. People could not go outside for many hours. The damage that was only really snow covering the vehicles. It is still lightly snowing and wet. The plants and animals were affected and some died because of the cold, harsh weather. This is Maddie reporting for KLKR News, sending it back to you, Hallie, in the studio.
Thank you, Maddie, for that great report. This is Hallie for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Rennie Nelson. A natural disaster is a natural event. A blizzard is a huge storm with high winds and bad seeing. A blizzard is formed when cold air and warm air meet. It forms a blizzard. A blizzard has caused 10 million power outages, over 300 deaths. Fun fact, a blizzard is a severe snowstorm with winds in case of 35 miles per hour and visibility of less than a 1/4 of a mile, more than 3 hours. Oh wait, where there's a blizzard in Nome, Alaska, we have some breaking news. We have a reporter live on the scene.
Hi, I am here in Alaska, Nome, Alaska. It is a blizzard. It is really cold and windy. As you can see, it is hard to see in the distance. It is hard to drive in this weather. You can get hurt if you drive too fast on the icy roads. So please stay home. There are trees and power lines that have fallen down on the road. You can drive into a ditch, which could cause an injury. Good news is there have been no reported deaths so far. There will be no school tomorrow in Alaska. This is Hunter for KLKR News, sending it back to you, Rennie.
Thank you, Hunter, for that great report. This is Rennie from KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Riley Nothi. A natural disaster is a tornado, tsunami, hurricane, blizzard, wildfires, and an earthquake that cause lots of damage and loss of death. A wildfire is usually a forested area on fire, but it may form somewhere else, like in a field. What causes a wildfire is very hot weather and sun beaming down on something and catches on fire. Wildfires can also start by lightning strike. 95% of how they form is being careless, like not putting fires out or matches. 5% is sun beaming down and lightning strikes. There is a wildfire in Superior, Arizona.
I am here in Superior, Arizona, reporting on the wildfire that just happened. Here in Superior, the fire has already burned at least 150,000 acres. There are no reported deaths yet, but people are still trying to evacuate. The fire is still burning and is creating a lot of damage. The fire department is still trying to contain the fire, but many people are left devastated. Many animals have died, and the plants have all been burned. This is Ray Lobertman reporting for KLKR, sending it back to Riley Nothi in the studio.
Thank you, Ray, for that great report. This is Riley Nothi for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Lizzie. My natural disaster is a wildfire. It is a fire that can burn a whole lot of land. A wildfire burns the earth, population, animals, and plants. And people, when people camp, they set fire, they forget to put it out, then they leave the site, and dry bushes and lightning can cause a wildfire. We have some breaking news to report. There is a wildfire in Orlando, Florida.
I'm here in Orlando, Florida, reporting on the wildfire that just happened 9 minutes ago. 4 people were killed, animals were caught in the fire. Planes came by with bags and flew over to put out the wildfire. The people were shocked. It is still really hot and trees are still burning. Animals were affected, their homes burning down, and animals died, and their food sources were burned as well. 90% of all the wildfires are started by humans. This is Karina Penker reporting on KLKR, sending it back to you, Lizzie, in the studio.
Thank you, Karina Penker, for the great report. This is Elizabeth for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Jordan. Wildfires are often caused by human activity or a natural phenomenon such as lightning, and they can happen at any time or anywhere. In 50% of wildfires recorded, it is not known how they started. The risk of wildfires increase in extremely dry conditions such as drought and during high winds. We have some breaking news to report. There is a wildfire in Kensington, California.
Hi, this is Easton Barrow reporting for the wildfire that is currently happening in Kensington, California. The wildfires can destroy and burn down many houses and can cause millions of dollars of damage. People are affected by the houses getting burned down and can make people homeless, or it might even take lives. The weather is currently hot, dry, and humid out. People died due to burning and having no water. People are evacuating their houses and motels are crowded. The Australian bushfire had 34 people killed. The animals are getting killed and they have no homes because they are burning up. Well, this is Easton Barrow reporting for KLKR News. Back to you, Jordan, in the studio.
Thank you, Easton, for that great report. This is Jordan Randall signing out of KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Jaden Rasmussen. A natural disaster is a natural event such as flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes a great damage or loss of life. A wildfire is a dangerous fire that spreads quickly and burns on property. A wildfire is started by cigarettes and human activity such as making a fire. It also depends how much fire there is. It also determines the speed of the wildfire and how dangerous it is. A wildfire forms when oxygen collides with heat and fuel. We have some breaking news to report. We have a wildfire in San Bruno, California.
Hi, this is Cashton. I am in California, San Bruno, reporting on the California San Bruno wildfire that just started 8 minutes ago. The wildfire disrupted transportation, communication, power and gas service, and water supply. People are affected by the smoke from the wildfire can range from eye and irritation to more serious disorders, including lung fractures. It is still very hot, but all the wood is black. There are fallen trees and houses. The biggest effect wildfire habitat is by their things animals need most food, water, and shelter. Tender understory plants and shrubs that provide food are lost, and this loss often results in wildfire moving away to areas where food, water, and shelter are more readily available. This is Cashton Bolts reporting for KLKR News, sending it back to you, Jaden, in the studio.
Thank you, Cashton Bolts, for this great report. This is Jaden Rasmussen for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Henry. A natural disaster is a natural event that usually happens on land, such as a hurricane, blizzard, and wildfire. The definition of flood is a huge rainfall that overflows riverbanks and streams so that it floods. Too much rain causes it to flood rivers, streams, and lakes. It forms when it rains too much, and then it breaks dams and overflows rivers so that it floods. We have some breaking news to report. There is a flood in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
My name is Brielle Close. I am here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, reporting on a flood that just hit here in Baton Rouge. Floods can happen during heavy rains, when ocean waves come on shore, when snow melts quickly, or when dams levees break. Damaging flooding may happen with only a few inches of water, or it may cover a house to the rooftop. Floods can occur within minutes over a long period and may last days, weeks, or longer. It can hurt animal habitats, kill animals, hurt people, and kill people. People's homes will be taken away by the flood. When a flood hits, there's not much you can do to protect your home, but be sure to protect yourself and your family. The weather is warm and humid, and it is still raining, preventing animals from spotting flood, inhibiting the growth of natural vegetation, and disrupting the natural food chain. In the future, large sediment deposits can even cause upstream flooding and can wreck their habitats. The primary damage to plants, other than lodging, from flooding or ponding is oxygen deprivation. The oxygen content of water is much lower than air, even air within the soil, water in soil, water lodging, or above the soil surface. Flooding means there is much less oxygen available to plants. This is Brielle for KLKR News, reporting back to you, Henry, in the studio.
Thank you, Brielle, for that great report. This is Henry for KLKR News.
A hurricane is a tropical storm
with winds that have reached a constant speed of 74 miles per hour or more. Hurricanes happen when the water is warm and the air is moist. For a hurricane to form, there needs to be warm ocean water and moist, humid air in the region. We have some breaking news to report. There is a hurricane in Miami, Florida. Its name is Hurricane Laura, and it is tearing apart Miami, Florida piece by piece.
I'm here in Miami, Florida, reporting on the Hurricane Laura storm that just hit. As you can see, there are still 50-mile-per-hour winds behind me. Plants die and trees fall on houses. This is Leo Foster reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Evan Mulvihill, in the studio.
Thank you, Leo Foster, for that great report. This is Evan Mulvihill for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Zayden. A natural disaster is a major weather event that causes a lot of damage around the world. There's many different events that happen basically anywhere, but some places have low odds for a different event. For example, a tornado is a violent wind disaster that happens on land. Severe thunderstorms cause tornadoes all the time. The hot air from the Gulf of Mexico and the cold air from Canada connect together to make a funnel cloud. That's why Tornado Alley is in the center of the United States, because that is where the air meets, and it's in the center. We have some breaking news to report. There was a tornado in Reno, Nevada. We are sending out to the scene.
Hi, my name is Oliver, and I'm here in Reno, Nevada, reporting for the tornado that has hit Reno. The tornado tore apart houses and trees, and if you see the ruins of a tornado, you'll see a lot of rubble. The city goes into its basement to stay safe from the tornado. The city goes into their basements, and the tornado has stopped. And it has torn apart 17,000 houses so far, and that's $400 million of damage. There have been a total of 200 people killed and injured. This is Oliver reporting for KLKR and sending it back to you, Zayden, in the studio.
Thank you, Oliver, for that great report. This is Zayden for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Brandon Vogelpohl, and a natural disaster is characterized by an abnormal intensity of natural agent flood, mudslide, earthquake, avalanche, drought. When unusual measures to take place prevents this damage, we're not able to prevent their emergency or not able to be taken in. A tornado is a violent rotating clump of air touching the ground, usually acting at the base as a thunderstorm. Tornadoes happen when a cold air and warm air collide. When a tornado happens, we have some breaking news to report. There is a tornado in Tracy, Minnesota.
I am here in Tracy, Minnesota, reporting on the tornado that is happening now. I was gonna wear a hat, but it keeps blowing off. Haha. The damage that the tornado has caused, it has destroyed 111 homes, caused major damage to 76, and little damage to 114. Businesses were wrecked, and 106 vehicles were also damaged. 9 people have died, and 125 are injured. Most people are going to have to move and find a new place to stay. Everyone is looking for shelter and are helping each other. The tornado is still going strong, but they are predicting that will end soon. It is super windy and loud outside. You can see pieces getting thrown around in the sky. This tornado today is an F5 tornado. That's big and strong. Trees were knocked down. Family pets have been lost. Birds and squirrels are going to have to find new homes too. Because of this tornado, since it has affected nature and animals, that will mess up the food chain for a while. This is Evie Reamer reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Bryn Vogelpohl, in the studio.
Thank you, Evie Reamer, for that great report. This is Bryn Vogelpohl for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Elsie. Well, let me explain what a natural disaster is. Warm air and cold air mixing together. The definition of a tornado is warm air and cold air colliding together. My natural disaster mixes with cold air and warm air. My natural disaster forms cold air and going in warm air and mixing together forms a tornado. We have some breaking news to report. There's a tornado in Howard Lake, Minnesota.
I'm here in Howard Lake, Minnesota, reporting on the tornado that just hit. The tornado has caused about 1,360 deaths. Trees and power lines are tipping over and houses are being torn apart. It is recommended to take shelter in a storm shelter or basement. It is hailing and raining pretty heavily. Trees and bushes are getting ripped out of the ground. Animals and people are getting lost in the tornado and the debris. This is Angel reporting for KLKR News. Back to you, Elsie.
Thank you for the wonderful report, Angel. This is Elsie for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Maddie. A natural disaster is a natural event such as a flood, earthquake, wildfire, tsunami, tornado, blizzard, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life. A tornado is a destructive vortex of violently rotating winds having the appearance of a funnel-shaped cloud and advancing beneath a large storm system. Tornadoes develop from severe thunderstorms in warm, moist, unstable air along and ahead of cold fronts. A tornado forms inside thunderclouds. Warm, humid air rises while cold air falls along with rain or hail. These conditions can cause spinning air currents inside the cloud. We have some breaking news to report. There was a tri-state tornado in Ellington, Missouri.
Hi, I'm Nev, and I'm here in Ellington, Missouri, reporting on the tri-state tornado that has just occurred. This tri-state tornado has killed 695 people, destroyed about 15,000 homes, and many cars were destroyed after being tossed through the air. Many people were affected by this natural disaster. About 16,000 people are now homeless. They have been dealing with the damage by trying to clean things up and look for family members who are missing. To stay safe during the storm, they went to places without any windows or a basement if they had one, and they covered themselves with mattresses, blankets, and couch cushions. The storm is not ended yet, and the sky is a greenish hue. It is very windy, there are big clouds in the sky, and it is still raining. Plants and animals were affected by this natural disaster as well. Here is how. Wastes such as industrial wastes and medical wastes are also released into the environment, thereby causing environmental contamination and making animals' lives in danger. Vegetation is uprooted. Trees can also be pulled out of the ground. This is Nev Kuznia reporting for KLKR News, sending back to you, Maddie, in the studio.
Thank you, Nev, for that great report. This is Maddie for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Jackson. A natural disaster is a major adverse event resulting from natural progress of the earth. Examples include firestorm, dust storm, floods, hurricanes, tornado, volcano eruptions, earthquake, tsunamis, storms. A natural event such as a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life. The number of people suffering food crisis as a result of natural disasters has tripled in the last 30 years. A large and sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. A tsunami is a series of extreme long waves caused by a large sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. This force creates waves that rage overward in all directions and from their source, sometimes causing the ocean brains. We have breaking news in Clegg, Alaska. We'll go to the reporter.
Hi, I'm Everett. The state Craig, Alaska suffered enormous damage in the resulting tsunami wave reaches as high as 27 feet in some areas. A total of 128 people died as a result of the tsunami, including 16 from California and 4 from Oregon. Damage to Pacific Coast states and territories marked 895 million. Many people were affected by the disaster because 28 people have died. 128 people have died, and there were more people who lost their home because of the tsunami. But they are following the tsunami ready guidelines to not as many people were injured fatal. The tsunami has stopped and there were no bad weather during it, and now it's a clear sky. The Alaskan plants and animals ecosystem have been badly damaged during the tsunami, and some plants and animals that died during the tsunami. This is Everett Singer Towns reporting for KLKR, sending it into you, Jackson Chilton, in the studio.
Thank you for that great report, Everett. This is Jackson for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Kari Shoshan, and a tsunami is a series of waves caused by earthquakes or undersea volcanic eruptions. Tsunamis are waves caused by sudden movement of the ocean surface due to earthquakes, landslides on the seafloor, land slumping into the ocean, large volcanic eruptions, or migrate impact in the ocean. Tsunamis are ocean waves triggered by large earthquakes that occur near or under the ocean, and a tsunami is a series of extremely long waves caused by a large and sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the results of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. This force creates waves that radiate outward in all directions away from their source, sometimes crossing ocean basins. A tsunami is a series of extremely long waves caused by a large and sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the results of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. This force creates waves that radiate outward in all directions away from their source, sometimes crossing ocean basins. We have some breaking news. A tsunami in California has hit, and Braden is on the scene right now.
I'm Braden Foley. I'm here in California reporting on the tsunami that just hit California. There is mass flooding and flooding homes. Many people have drowned. People are sitting on top of their houses. The weather is cloudy. It is 57 out right now, and it is over but still flooded. Most plants are dead or gone. Animals cannot move. This is Brandon Foley reporting for KLKR, sending it back to Chris in the studio.
Thank you, Braden, for that great report. This is KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Audrey Wimmer. A natural disaster is a bad storm that can cause a lot of deaths and destruction. A lot of homes and stores and playgrounds can be hit. A tsunami is a dangerous wave. The biggest record tsunami was 1.722. It is usually caused by an earthquake underwater, and when the wave hits land, massive destruction occurs. We have some breaking news to report. There is a tsunami in Maui, Hawaii. We have a reporter live on the scene.
I am Anthony Erdl. I'm here in Maui, Hawaii, reporting on the tsunami that just struck. It caused 1,200 deaths and a lot of damage, as it destroyed many buildings and flooded half the city. If you do live in a coastal area, elevate your home to help reduce damage. Most tsunami waves are less than 10 feet, 3 meters. Take precautions to prevent it from failing. After a tsunami, local officials will assess the damage and tell you when it's safe to return. Even though the danger of a tsunami has passed, the wind, rain, and debris from storms injure and kill animals and cause a lot of damage in their habits, including destroying shelters and containing food and water sources. Tsunamis can drown people and kill a lot of people. This is Anthony Erdl reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Audrey, in the studio.
Thank you,
Anthony for the great report. This is Audrey from KLKR News.
I'm Tristan Swart.
I'm Jack Otto.
A natural disaster is a sudden and terrible weather event caused by natural causes. They can be tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, wildfires, hurricanes, and, of course, blizzards.
Blizzards occur when a mass of warm air collides with a mass of very cold air. It happens in a north and mid place of the U.S.
A blizzard is a big snowstorm that can last for several days. We have a reporter in Howard Lake, Minnesota, in the middle of a blizzard that started there this morning.
Hi, I am Corbin Long, and I am here in Howard Lake, Minnesota, reporting on the blizzard that just hit Minnesota with 10 feet of snow. The blizzard made houses break, trees and power lines are falling over, pipes can burst, which can lead to no running water. Over 100 people are dying, and many people are taking helicopters to the hospital but barely make it. The snow is still falling, and it doesn't look like it's going to clear up anytime soon. People should still take precautions. Plants stopped growing because they didn't get any sunlight, and animals weren't making it because they got extremely cold and they didn't have any food or water. This is Corbin Long reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Jack and Tristan, in the studio.
Thank you, Corbin, for that great report on the mass air just hit Minnesota. We will all be really chilly this weekend, so must dress warm. Otherwise, you'll catch a cold.
Hi, I'm Ellen Erickson. A natural disaster is a combustible liquid such as a Greek fire that is rarely ignited and difficult to extinguish, used especially in warfare. A definition of a natural event such as flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage. The things that cause a wildfire is fuel in the form of live or dead trees, vegetation, and other organic matter, oxygen in the air around us, heat to ignite or burn from lightning or human sources. We have some breaking news to report. There is a wildfire in British Columbia, Canada.
Hello, I'm Taylor Elk. I'm here in British Columbia, Canada. We're reporting on the wildfire that is happening right now. Wildfires can disrupt transportation, communications, power and gas services, and water supply. They also lead to a deterioration of the air quality and loss of property, crops, resources, animals, and people. The majority of these lightning-caused wildfires occur in the absence or very little rain. When this occurs, the lightning is commonly referred to as dry lightning. Gusty winds often accompany thunderstorms, which produce wind accordingly the spread of fires. The biggest effect wildfire has on wildlife habitat is by altering the three things animals need most: food, water, and shelter. Tender understory plants and shrubs that provide food are lost, and this loss often results in wildlife moving away to areas where food, water, and shelter are more readily available. This is Taylor Elg reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Ellen, in the studio.
Thank you, Taylor, for that great report. This is Ellen Erickson for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Allison Hasseldolan. A natural disaster is an event that causes great damage or loss of life. Some natural disasters are wildfires, blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, floods, and earthquakes. A wildfire is a large destructive fire that spreads quickly over land. A wildfire can be caused by fuel in alive or dead trees. A wildfire can be formed by an untended campfire, a lightning strike, or discarded cigarettes. Did you know that during a wildfire, most animals are able to escape? Also, most wildfires can produce fire tornadoes. We have some breaking news to report. There was a wildfire in Northern California.
I'm here in Northern California reporting on the wildfire. There have been 10 deaths so far. It has burned 316,698 acres. Some people have severe burns and are evacuating right now. It's very humid and the fire is still going. Plants are burning and animals' eyes are going to be irritated. Many animals have lost their homes. A wildfire can cause difficulty breathing for animals and people. Did you know that most wildfires are man-made? Also, the biggest wildfire that burned 2.5 million acres. This is June Nathan reporting for KLKR News, sending it back to you, Allison Hastelon in the studio.
Thank you, June Nathan, for that great report. This is Allison Hastelon for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Emma, and a natural disaster is something that causes great damage, for example, a flood, wildfires, etc. It may be caused by heavy rain and snow melting. We have some breaking news to report that there is a flood happening right now in Tampa, Florida.
I am here in Tampa, Florida, reporting on the flood that just happened. The only damages that just happened are the loss of humans, destruction of crops, damage to property. It is raining very hard here, and as I can see, a lot of snow got into the river and overflowed it, and since it started raining, the rain and the snow caused the flood. Many animals died during the flood because their habitats have been destroyed. Pests and wild animals such as snakes may migrate to densely populated areas and cause havoc. The primary damage to plants from flooding is ponding, is oxygen evaporation. The oxygen content of water is much lower than air, even air within the soil. This is Heidi reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Emma, in the studio.
Thank you, Heidi, for that great report. This is Emma for KLKR.
Hi, my name is Mira Koch. I'm here to tell you about natural disasters. A natural disaster is a major event resulting from natural processes of Earth, including firestorms, dust storms, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, storms, and more. Hurricanes are large rotating storms with high-speed violent winds that form over warm waters, mainly in tropical areas, and often including flooding. Hurricanes are dangerous. Hurricanes start over the ocean, often beginning as a tropical wave, a low-pressure area that moves through the moisture-rich tropics. Hurricanes form when moist air over water begins to rise. The rising air is replaced by cooler air. This process continues to grow large clouds and thunderstorms. These thunderstorms continue to grow and begin to rotate. Hurricanes have violent winds and an area of low air pressure in the center called the eye. We have some breaking news to report. There is a hurricane in Grand Isle, Louisiana.
I am here live in Grand Isle, Louisiana, reporting on the hurricane that has just started. It is destroying buildings and homes. People have been killed or injured. It's raining really hard and there are winds about 70 miles per hour. Water is starting to flood streets and homes. Pets are missing and people are really scared. They are also sad about losing their loved ones. Trees are falling on houses and a ton of plants have been ripped out of the ground. Crops are almost all gone. This could cause a tornado, and this storm could last up to 24 hours, but we don't know for sure. This is Corrigan Thomas reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Maria, in the studio.
Thank you, Corey, for that great report. This is Maria for KLKR News signing off.
Hi, my name is Benny Killian. A natural disaster is a storm that causes a lot of damage or loss of life. One natural disaster is a tsunami. Tsunamis are giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcano eruptions under the sea. When an earthquake or volcano happens, a force creates waves that radiate outward in all directions away from their source, sometimes crossing entire ocean basins. We have some breaking news to report. There was a tsunami in Madison Township, Ohio.
Hi, this is Megan Rue. I am here in Madison Township, Ohio, reporting on the tsunami that just happened. There's a lot of debris and wood left all over the beach from the 12-foot waves that just crashed onto the shore. If the waves would have hit a little bit more to the angle, the houses along the shore would have been destroyed. A volunteering crew helped clean up the beach 2 weeks after the tsunami hit. The water levels rose 4 feet and the shore is still flooded a little. The water is filled with debris and pieces of wood, but other than that, everyone is fine. This is Maggie Rue reporting for KLKR, sending back to you, Bennett, in the studio.
Thank you, Maggie, for that great report. This is Bennett Killian for KLKR News signing off.
Hi, my name is Ava Greengrath. A natural disaster is a type of weather that is severe and it could kill people. A tsunami is a big giant wave caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions under the sea, destroying almost everything in its path. Usually earthquakes, underwater volcanic eruptions, or sometimes meteors cause tsunamis to form. Tsunamis form if there is an earthquake near the ocean floor. We have some breaking news reports.
I'm Evelyn Dial with Sam Bender, reporting in Hilo, Hawaii, reporting on the tsunami that just washed over the beach a few hours ago.
There has been houses and buildings washed away with oncoming waves, and trees have also been uprooted.
People have fled or they have boarded up their homes as quickly as possible.
And rescue teams are going out on boats as we speak, trying to find any survivors that may be stranded.
Smaller waves are still coming in on land, but the biggest wave should be stopping soon in the next hour or so.
It also has been raining quite a bit, so there may be more flooding. So far, for some damage, it was reported plants were uprooted and some animals were caught in the waves.
Here's some facts about tsunamis. Only on very few occasions a tsunami is caused by a giant meteor in the ocean.
Tsunami waves can be as huge as 100 feet, and about 80% of the tsunamis occur in the Pacific Ocean's Ring of Fire.
Tsunami is a Japanese word meaning harbor wave. A tsunami travels at the speed of around 500 miles per hour, which is similar to the speed of a jet airliner.
The wave period of tsunami ranges from minutes to hours.
This is
Sam Bender
and Evelyn Dial
reporting for KLKR News. Send it back to you, Ava.
Thank you, Sam and Evelyn, for the great report. This is Ava Greengrath from KLKR News.
Hello, I'm Sawyer. A natural disaster is a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life. Breaking news. A tsunami is in Houston, Texas. A tsunami is a series of extremely long waves caused by a sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. There is no season for tsunamis. A tsunami can happen any time, any season, and during any weather. A tsunami can happen anywhere near the ocean. We have some breaking news. There is a tsunami that just hit Houston, Texas.
We are here in Houston, Texas right after a tsunami happened.
Some houses get destroyed and some people lose their family, friends, and others, and it might make them sad if they lose their houses, and if the houses get destroyed, the houses could seriously be damaged and the people inside could be hurt. They maybe have to get more money and get new houses.
Millions of people are killed and lose family and loved ones, and millions of dollars in damages, and construction workers are being paid a lot to rebuild all the houses.
Animals drown and lose habitat, and plants and more could die. It hurts their environment, and the air could get bad, and the animals maybe could die. If the animals die, some people can't get the food that is part of animal, and then people could die.
Back to Sawyer in the studio.
Thank you for that great report. This is Sawyer and for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Anthony Penelosa Solomon. Tsunamis are giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcano eruptions under the sea. Out in the depths of the ocean, tsunamis waves do not dramatically increase in height as the waves travel. Mainly, they build up higher and higher heights as the depths in the ocean decrease. A tsunami is a series of extremely long waves caused by large and sudden disappearance of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. A tsunami is a series of extremely long waves caused by large and sudden displacement of the ocean, usually the result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. This force creates waves that radiate outward in all directions away from the crossing source, sometimes crossing entire ocean basins. we have breaking news in the report. Here was a tsunami in Hawaii.
This is Christian Gutron Solomon
and Razi Elke.
Most tsunami damage and destruction is caused by flooding, wave impacts, strong current, and floating debris, trees, structures, vehicles, and other things that can act like batting rams. The water can be just as dangerous, if not more, as it returns to the sea, taking debris and people with it. A tsunami changes the landscape and it uproots trees and plants and destroys animal habitat, such as nesting sites for birds. Land animals are killed by drowning, and sea animals are killed by pollution. If dangerous chemicals are washed away into the sea, thus poisonous the marine life. A tsunami
continues to affect people after the water has receded. Tsunamis can overwhelm sewage systems, destroy structures, and leave decaying bodies in their wake, leading to long-term health problems related to contaminated water exposure and increased spread of disease. A tsunami changes the landscape. It uproots the plants and destroys animal habitats such as nesting sites for birds. Land animals are killed by drowning, and sea animals are killed by pollution if dangerous chemicals are washed away into sea, this poisoning the marine life. Some fun facts about a natural disaster: a underwater earthquake, a volcano eruption, or a landslide mostly causes a tsunami. Only on a very few occasions a tsunami is caused by a great giant meteor in the ocean. Tsunami waves can be as huge as 100 feet. About 80% of tsunamis occur in the Pacific Ocean's Ring of Fire.
This is Christian Gutron Solomon
and Razi Elke.
Back to Anthony in the studio.
Thank you, Razi and Christian, for that great report. That is Anthony for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Davina Lemke. A natural disaster is a natural event such as a flood, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, tsunami that causes great damage or loss of life. A tsunami is a long, high sea wave. An earthquake is a submarine landslide on the ocean floor causes a tsunami. A tsunami formed a large and sudden displacement in the ocean, usually a result of an earthquake below or near the ocean floor. We have some breaking news to report. There has been a tsunami in Los Angeles, California.
Hi, I am Mallory Field. I am here in Los Angeles, California, reporting on the tsunami that just happened. The tsunami damaged many small buildings and destroyed ships. Some people drowned and died. Some other people got really bad injuries like broken limbs and head injuries. Now there is a lack of food, shelter, and medical care. It is still a little windy here, but the tsunami is over. The tsunami destroyed animal habitats and killed the plants, so now herbivores have nothing to eat, so they will die. That means there will be less food for carnivores. This is Mallory reporting for KLKR, sending it back to Davina in the studio.
Thank you, Mallory, for that awesome report. This is Davina from KLKR.
Hi, my name is Blake Neufeld, and a natural disaster is something that happens when an earthquake when people have to leave their homes. When the stress on the edge overcomes the friction, there is an earthquake that releases energy and waves that travel through the Earth's crust that cause the shaking that we feel. These plates below the Earth's surface cause the Earth to rumble and shake. It affects animals and people because it can harm them and their homes. We have some breaking news. There is an earthquake happening right now in San Francisco. We have a reporter live on the scene.
I am here in San Francisco reporting on the aftermath of the earthquake that just destroyed 90% of the city. An earthquake can cause a lot of damage that can cost thousands, if not millions of dollars to repair all the damage. Find a sturdy shelter like a desk for safety. The air quality is may not be safe to breathe. Plants and animals can be crushed by falling buildings and bricks. This is Tristan reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Blake, in the studio.
Thanks, Tristan, for that great report. This is Blake from KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Esmeralda. A natural disaster is an event that can cause great damage and loss of life. An earthquake, how in the ground that can kill humans and break buildings. Large holes can also be formed when the roads crack. An earthquake is caused when the planets of the earth are moving or crushed together, causing the earth to shake. Earthquakes can happen. We have some breaking news report. There is an earthquake in Mount Vernon, Washington.
I am here in Washington at Mount Vernon, reporting on the recent earthquake that just shook the area. It can destroy buildings and bridges. It causes flooding, fires. The people were scared because they felt the shaking. They have to rebuild homes and buildings to go find lost items to try to live without power. People try to be safe by going to earthquake designed safe buildings. Right now the water is very hot, dusty from all the debris settling. Plants and trees are in the area are shredded and some are uprooted. I have not seen any animals yet since they all ran away. This is Connor Brooks reporting for KLKR, signing back in to you, Esmeralda, in the studio.
Thank you, Connor, for that great report. This is Esmeralda for KLK News.
Hi, my name is Ava Kafka. A natural disaster is a natural event that occurs in certain kinds of weather. It can be a very destructive storm or flood. They are catastrophic events with atmospheric, geological, and hydrological origins that can cause property damage and environmental damage. It can destroy animal habitats and even destroy homes. A hurricane is a tropical storm with winds that have reached a constant speed of 74 miles per hour or more. The eye of a storm is usually 20 to 30 miles wide and may extend over 400 miles. The dangers of hurricane include torrential rains, high winds, and storm surges. Hurricanes begin when large masses of warm water and moist warm air come in contact with cooler air. For a hurricane to form, there needs to be warm ocean water and moist, humid air in the region. When humid air is flowing upward at a zone of low pressure over warm ocean water, the water is released from the air, creating the clouds for the storm. As it rises, the air in the hurricane rotates. We have some breaking news to report. There was a hurricane in Mexico Beach, Florida.
Hi, my name is Claire Dressel. I'm live on the scene here in Mexico Beach reporting on Hurricane Michael on the coast of downtown Mexico that just hit. Hurricane Michael hit downtown of Mexico Beach, which suffered devastating storm surge damage. It destroyed the coast of Mexico Beach. 35 people died from Hurricane Michael. Hurricane Michael damaged or destroyed more than 40,000 homes. The people who were affected by Hurricane Michael had access to food, shelter, supplies, and recovery support when they needed it most. I'm at the end of Hurricane Michael and it's starting to clear up and weaken. Most animals were killed by Hurricane Michael and their habitats destroyed. Plants were destroyed as well, including coral and other plants. This is Claire Dressel signing off from KLKR, sending it back to you, Ava Kafka, back in the studio.
Thank you, Claire Dressel, for that great report. This is Ava Kafka for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Austin Lure, and I'm reporting for KLKR. Natural disasters are catastrophic events with astronomical and geological and hydrological origins that can cause fatalities, property damage, and social and environmental disruption. A violently rotating column of air touching the ground, usually attached to the base of a thunderstorm. Tornadoes are natural. Most violent storms spawn from powerful thunderstorms. Tornadoes can cause fatalities and devastate a neighborhood in seconds. Winds of a tornado may reach 300 miles per hour. Tornadoes develop from severe thunderstorms in warm, moist, unstable air, along with a head of cold fronts such thunderstorms, and may generate large hail and damaging winds. When intense springtime storm systems produce large, persistent areas that support tornado development, major outbreaks can occur. Tornadoes form when warm, humid air collides with cold, dry air. The denser cold air is pushed over the warm air, usually producing thunderstorms. The warm air rises through the cold air, causing an updraft. The updraft will begin to rotate if the winds vary sharply in speed or direction. We have some breaking news to report. There is a tornado in Albania, Elbasan.
I'm here in Albania, Elbasan, reporting on the tornado that just occurred in this current area. The damages, it torn up 2 streets, a church, a boarding school, and 6 houses. It's an F4 tornado. It severely injured 4 people and 8 people were killed. The tornado is still at it, but it is currently dying down. Several dead animals were spotted on the road and trees were knocked over. This is Parker Pedersen reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Austin Lure, in the studio.
Thank you, Parker Peterson, for that great report. This is Austin Lure for KLKR News.
Hello, my name is Max Narum. Natural disasters are catastrophic events with atmospheric, geological, and hydrological origins that can cause fatalities, property damage, and social disruption. A tornado is a violently spinning, rotating column of air touching the ground, usually attached to the base of a thunderstorm. Tornadoes are nature's most violent storms, spawned by powerful thunderstorms. Tornadoes can cause fatalities and devastate a neighborhood in seconds. Winds of a tornado may reach 300 miles per hour. A tornado forms from a large thunderstorm inside thunderclouds. Warm, humid air rises while cooler falls along the rain or hail. These conditions can cause spinning air currents inside the cloud. Although spinning currents start out horizontal, they can turn vertical and drop down from the cloud, becoming a tornado. Breaking news. There was a tornado in Winsted, Emmen. Our reporter is live on the scene.
Hi, my name is Aiden. I am at the tornado in Winsted. I am live on the scene of the tornado that just ended. There are over 400 deaths and many buildings destroyed and lots of roofs gone. The people are dying and have lost their homes and are not doing very well. They had to hide in their basements or closets. It was really scary. The weather is calm now. There are sunny skies. The tornado is over. The people are calming down. The trees were thrown all over the town. All the animals went to hiding. Wrap up. This is Eden Lubbock reporting to KLKR. Send it back to you, Max.
Thank you, Aiden Lemmings, for that great report. This is Max Narum for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Lily Milky. A natural disaster is a major event that happened because a natural, mostly weather, tornadoes are harmful, like it taking in life. 13 tornadoes come from thunderstorms and warm. Most unstable are along and ahead of cold fronts. Inside thunder clouds, warm, humid air races while cool air falls along with rain or hail. These can cause spinning air inside the cloud. Even through the spinning currents start out to level that can turn upright. The drop down from and a cloud becoming a tornado. We have some breaking news today to report. Was a tornado in Lesotho, Africa.
Hi, I'm Abby Preston. Hi, I'm Abby. I'm here in Lesotho, Africa, where a tornado just hit. Trees and plants have been ripped from the ground. Cars have been flipped and houses are torn apart. Many homes were ripped up and many have to rebuild their homes and buildings before work can start. Cops and paramedics right now are looking for the injured and dead while others are trying to find their belongings and what's left of their houses, even in the downpour. The best way to stay safe from tornadoes is to get to your lowest level or a pre-designed building with no windows and stay under a blanket or mattress. These natural disasters ended, but the weather is still cloudy, windy, and there's a heavy downpour of rain. Many plants have been ripped from the ground and many may never grow again, and many animals will die because of the shortage of food and no habitats to live in. This is Abby Brestingham reporting for KLKR News, sending it back to you, Lily.
Thank you, Abby, for that great report. This is Lily Milky for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Christopher Peterson. A natural disaster is an event such as a flood, earthquake, tsunami, wildfires, blizzards, and hurricanes, and can cause great damage to cities, towns, and neighborhoods. A tsunami is a big wave of water that reaches over 100 feet tall. When two tectonic plates rub together and causes an earthquake that causes a huge wave. When a big earthquake happens, a big wave forms and kills around 60,000 people each time it happens. It can destroy animal life and plant life by killing homes, by knocking down trees with nests and sometimes animals that are in the tree. It can also destroy plant life by giving the plants too much water, and most of the plants that are on the ground can't grow with salt water. We have some breaking news. There has been a tsunami that has hit in Padang, Indonesia.
I'm here in Padang, Indonesia, reporting on the tsunami that has just hit land. It has flooded the town and many homes have been washed away. 10 deaths have been reported and many more could come. They have evacuated their homes and gone far away. Their homes are washed away and flooded. There are waves still coming in. It is very wet, but there are many small waves, but still dangerous. How were the plants and animals affected by this natural disaster? Many plants died along with the animals. This is Evan reporting for KLKR News. Sending it back to you, Christopher, in the studio.
Thank you, Evan, for the great report. This is Christopher for KLKR News.
My name is Shane Peterson. A natural disaster is a disaster that occurs naturally due to its environment and weather.
A tsunami is a gigantic wave that does lots of damage to anything. It does lots of damage because it floods anything. A tsunami occurs after an earthquake because the plates collide underwater or just when any underwater plates collide. We have some breaking news. There was a tsunami in Indonesia. We have a reporter live on scene.
I am live here in Indonesia reporting on the tsunami that just hit. A tsunami causes houses to get destroyed because of the force and water. People die by drowning. We have 75 confirmed deaths so far, but many are still missing. We have houses that are destroyed and buildings that have lots of damage. The weather is still the same, but lots of damage. This is Brecken reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Shane.
Thank you, Brecken, for that great report. This is Shane for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Emily Dahlbeck. A wildfire is a large, destructive fire that spreads quickly over woodland or brushes and occurs fire often occurring in wildland areas, but which campfires destructed cigarettes, arson, and more, either ignored by the sun's heat or lightning strikes. However, most wildfires are caused by human activities, including informative campfires, destructed cigarettes, arson, and more. We have some breaking news. There has been a wildfire in Calf Canyon, Montana.
I am here in Calf Canyon, Montana, reporting on the wildfire that happened today. A lot of damages were done. Houses burnt down, trees burnt down, people had lost their homes. It had to be evacuated, but they now are rebuilding them. But it's still so hot. Animals lost their shelters. Some animals died. Plants were drenched from wildfires or smoked out or burned. This is Keenan Carls reporting to KLKR, sending it back to you, Emily Dahlbeck, in the studio.
Thank you, Keenan Carls, for that wonderful report. This is Emily Dahlbeck for KLKR.
Hi, this is Gavin on KLKR News. A natural disaster is a natural event such as a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss. A natural disaster is a major adverse event resulting from natural processes of the earth. Wildfires do sometimes occur naturally, either ignited by the sun's heat or a lightning strike. However, most wildfires are caused by human activities, including unattended campfires, discarded cigarettes, arson, and more. We have some breaking news to report. There is a wildfire in Kent, Washington.
I am here in Kent, Washington, reporting on a wildfire that just occurred. The damage done by wildfires can make forests and people's houses burn down. People affected by wildfires lose their homes and sometimes have to evacuate. It is 80 degrees right now and the wildfire is under control. Plants and animals are affected too by wildfires. Animals lose their homes and get trapped in wildfires. Plants burn in wildfires. A lot of nature is destroyed in the process. On average, 7.0 million acres are burned in wildfires. This is Levi Lure reporting for KLKR. Sending it back to you, Gavin, in the studio.
Thank you, Levi Lure, for that awesome report. This is Gavin on KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Ost. You may be wondering what a natural disaster is. Well, a natural disaster is something that forms naturally and causes damage. A wildfire is a large destructive fire that spreads over woodland or brush. Things that can cause a wildfire consist of campfires, discarded cigarettes, arson, and more. A wildfire can form naturally, either ignited from the sun's heat or a lightning strike. We have some breaking news of a major wildfire in Los Angeles, California.
Hi, my name is Lexi Lipke, and I'm here live in Los Angeles, California, reporting live on the wildfire that is currently happening. You may be wondering what damages a wildfire causes, and here's the answer. Wildfires are very destructive. They can cause loss of life and people to be homeless or houses to burn to the ground. It can cause landscapes to be ruined and cause $millions of damage. Wildfires affect many people and can cause people to be homeless and even lose a loved one. To take precautions if this ever happening again, find a safe place to flee to or have another home. Eye and respiratory tract inflammation to more serious disorders, including reduced lung function, asthma, heart failure, and possibly death. As of right now, Los Angeles, California is still struggling from a terrible wildfire. Firefighters are trying their best to do what they can to stop it. Animal habitats can be destroyed in many different ways, including plants and animals dying. Animal food is being destroyed in the process as well. They have nothing to eat and are suffering in the conditions. Tender understory plants and shrubs that provide food are lost, and this often results in wildfires moving away to areas where food, water, and shelter are more readily available. This is Lexi Lipke reporting from Los Angeles, California for KLKR News. Sending it back to you, Aubrey Ost, in the studio.
Thank you, Lexi Lipke, for that great report. This is Aubrey Ost for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Lillian Steen, and I have some news to tell. Natural disasters include all types of severe weather, which have the potential to pose a significant threat to human health and safety, property, critical infrastructure, and homeland security. Wildfires are a large destructive fire that spreads quickly over woodland or brush. Wildfires do sometimes occur naturally, either ignited by the sun's heat or a lightning strike. However, most wildfires are caused by human activities, including unintended campfires, discarded cigarettes, arson, and more. We have some breaking news to report. There is a wildfire in Butte County, California, and has so far killed 84 out of 85 people. The fire is 200 to 21,504 acres big.
Hi, my name is Lauren Cardinal. I am here in Butte County, California, reporting on the wildfire that just started. It started because of a lightning strike. Wildfires decrease the water supply and also burn a lot of acres. The people have to evacuate when the fire gets too close, or the city tells them to leave. The people who have to find their houses in all the smolder and see if their house is intact. Right now, as you can see, there are still some fires, but the firefighters are getting the fires out. The animals either have to escape or are killed by the flames. The plants and trees are mostly burnt down, but the wildfires promote new growth. This is Lauren Cardinal reporting for KLKR, sending it back to Lillian in the studio.
Thank you, Lauren Cardinal, for that great report. This is Lillian for KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Kaya DeRose, here to talk about the wildfire that just occurred in Estes Park, Colorado. A natural disaster is a thing that happens on Earth. They can be caused by many different things. It could be the Earth that caused it, or it could be humans, or even animals. Wildfires can be caused by many things. For example, wildfires can be caused by leaving the stove on, a campfire gone wrong, or a strike of lightning. One tiny fire can spread through a big forest in minutes, especially if it's dry outside. A wildfire can happen mostly in summer or fall, but wildfires can happen in winter or spring too. A wildfire can happen at any time. They can happen at day or night. Sending it to Bryn and Hannah, live on the scene of a wildfire.
Thank you, Kyda Rose, for passing this on to us. Hi, I'm Brent Taylor.
And I'm Hannah Skiles.
We are here in Estes Park, Colorado, reporting on the wildfire. We think the fire started by someone passing by and throwing a cigarette out of their car window. The trees and homes are being burnt down, animals and people are getting killed by blazing flames, and their habitats are being destroyed, down to nothing at all. Trees and homes being burnt down, animals and people getting killed by blazing flames, and their habitats being destroyed.
The wildfire is going down, not now, but it's still very bad from what I can see at the moment right now. The animals' homes are being burnt down, and the plants are dying, and some of the animals are dying as well. Overall, of this, at least 26 people died and 19 animals died during the wildfire so far. Fun fact, wildfires can produce fire tornadoes. Another fun fact, is that a certain type of beetle thrives during forest fires.
This is Brent Taylor
and Hannah Skiles,
reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you, Kaya Rose in the studio.
Thank you for that great report. This is Kaya, KLKR News.
Hi, my name is Josh. The natural disaster that we picked was a flood. Floods are a temporary overflow of water onto land that is normally dry. Floods are the most common natural disaster in the United States. Failing to evacuate flooded area of entering flood waters can lead to injury or death. Flood can occur during heavy rains when ocean waves come on shore, when snow melts quickly, or when dams or leaves break. How do your natural disaster form occur? When water inundated land that's normally dry, which can happen in a multitude of ways. We have some breaking news to report. There was a flood in Florida.
I am here in Florida reporting on the floods that just destroyed half the town. Large debris and flood waters are causing structural damages to bridges and roadways, making travel impossible. Power, telephone, and cable lines can be taken out by a flash flood as well. Flood waters can disrupt or contaminate groundwaters, making tap water unfit for consumption. There is loss of human life, damage to property, destruction to crops, loss of livestock, and deterioration of health conditions owing the waterborne diseases. It has destroyed homes and buildings, damages possessions, and decimated roadways. However, what you can see can be just as dangerous. Floodwaters often become contaminated with sewage or chemicals that has been destruction of crops, loss of livestock, and deterioration of health conditions owing the waterborne diseases. Fun facts. On September 10th, 2017, and Hurricane Irma made landfall in Florida Keys as a Category 4 storm. It is the costliest hurricane to strike the Sunshine State since Hurricane Andrew. The hurricane caused major flooding throughout the Pennsylvania and dropped nearly 15 inches of rainfall total during a 48-hour period. Flooding is one of Florida's most frequent hazards. It is a coast-to-coast threat that can occur at any time of the year. This is Quentin reporting for KLKR, sending it back to you. Joshua McKee in the studio.
Thank you, Quentin, for that great report. This is Joshua from KLKR, and this is great to be doing this. Quentin, why'd you put that?